Hi yogis, and welcome to week 1 of our 40-day winter yoga challenge. This is the first asana practice for the challenge, and our focus this week is really getting you to feel centered in your body. So we'll move a little bit more slowly than perhaps we might be used to moving in a yoga class, and our attention is really going to be on getting our attention and our awareness centered deep within our own center, within the space of the heart, and expanding out from there to really be in our body, in the present moment, and feeling into the quality of that experience. And what we want to do is have this as our base that we set up for the rest of the challenge, and hopefully this sense of grounding in the body will not only spill over into the rest of our lives, but spill into our daily practice, our daily life practice, and our daily asana practice for months, years to come. So let's get started. Sit up nice and tall. You might like to sit on a bolster, a little pillow, or a block, just to bring a little bit of height to the hips so that you can sit up nice and tall. You might like a block close by so that you can use it as a prop. You could perhaps use, say, a Tupperware container or something that's around this size. So look around the house and see if you've got something that you can use, or you might even have a block at home. Keep this close to your mat, and I'll be giving you directions of how you might need to or want to use that as a little bit of a modifying prop. So sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes. Just feel that your heart is aligned on top of your hips, your head is aligned on top of your heart, and become aware of the physical space of your body. And invite yourself to relax into not only the physical space of your body, but deep into the heart of your physical existence. So if you think of the midpoint lengthways and widthways of the body, so more centered than the physical heart, then just draw your attention to this space. Soften your awareness of this space. And as you begin to breathe quite deeply, think of the breath and your attention or your awareness originating from this space deep within you, expanding out on the inhale, and on the exhale, dissolving back into that center point. So you're literally filling your body with your presence and your awareness from the inside out. Notice if you're holding any tension, and have the intention to let go. Have the intention to relax. Let's just take 3 more breaths here. Really filling your body with your presence more and more with each breath. Good. Slowly crack open your eyes. And we're going to come on. I'll get you to remove all your blocks from your mat now, and we're actually going to stretch. So I'll get you to actually tuck the toes underneath and roll over onto your knees and sit back on your heels. So you're stretching out through the toes. Now, it's not often a comfortable position for many people, but our goal here is to really sit with whatever is coming up here. So draw your attention in towards the heart. At the same time, we'll interlace the hands, take them out in front, and then take them high up to the sky. Hug the arms in towards the midline, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Breathe. Press the shoulder blades onto the back body. And with each exhale, hug the arms in towards the midline and press out through the palms of the hands. Awareness expands from the midpoint of the body. And on the exhale, you dissolve back into that midpoint. Good, and then release the hands. We'll just come over now onto the knees. We'll turn the palms over so the palms are face up and just stretch back here. So you're taking a bit of a stretch through the wrists. Steady breath. Good. And then we'll come back onto the toes again. Come over the knees. And we'll change the cross of the pinky. So the opposite pinky now will be at the base. Take it back in space. Hug the arms in towards the midline. Press up through the palms. Draw the bottom ribs in, and at the same time press the shoulder blades firmly onto the back. And as you breathe, really expand the whole rib cage. With each exhale, press out through the palms, hug the arms in towards the midline, not the windmill. And let's take one more breath here. And then let's release. Beautiful. Roll your shoulders back and down. We're going to come into gate pose now. This is where you might find that you need a block. So we'll take the left leg out to the side, or I'll say let's take the right leg out to the side. So I'm actually mirroring you. And we'll have the right foot out, outer edge of the foot parallel with your mat. Ground down through the left knee. We'll externally rotate the left arm. Inhale, bring it up. And just take a moment to ensure that you are simultaneously aware of your whole body. So ground down through the feet and then extend up. On an exhale, come over. Keep hugging the head of the arm bone into the shoulder joint, then stretch out from the midpoint of the ribs. Exhale over. 2 breaths here. Coming over a little deeper with each exhale. Good, and then release the hand down. And you can either work with the hand on the floor, keeping the hips forward. If the hips come back with the hand on the floor, then you'll need to use a block. So, hand on the floor, the foot, the knee, and the hand are all stacked in alignment here. Press the hips forward, lengthen your tailbone towards the right heel. Bring your right arm up to the sky and turn the palm to face over the head, and then we'll stretch over. And again, that full awareness of the whole body. So take a breath, drawing your attention towards the heart. And then on the exhale, extend out by pressing down through the right foot and reaching out through the right fingertips. And we'll take 3 breaths here. Each time you notice that your mind wants to wander, draw it back into the center of your body and fill the body from the center out. And then let's release and take the other side. So you can take the block over to the other side. We'll take the left foot out to the left, ground down through the left foot and firm this whole leg. So by actioning the muscles, we actually put our presence and our awareness, our life force into the body. So ground down through the right knee, down through the left foot, external rotation of the right arm, inhale, reach up. So we're reaching up from the middle of the body rather than disconnecting the shoulder from the shoulder joint or the arm from the shoulder joint. Inhale, lift up, and then exhale over. Take 3 breaths here. Inhale, lift up, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale over. Good, one more breath. Good, and then we'll release and bring that right hand down to the floor. Press the hips forward and use the block if you need to. So remember, we don't want the hips out behind us. Send the hips forward. Think of hugging the muscles of this arm up in towards the shoulder joint. So you're not giving into gravity here. Hugging up, bring the left arm up to the sky and firmly hug the muscles of the legs to the bone. Reach up through the left fingertips, external rotation of that left arm, and on an exhale, take the palm over. You can look underneath the armpit as you ground down through the outer edge of your left foot. Extend out through the fingertips and breathe. Enjoy your breath. So your intention here is to enjoy the experience of breathing and enjoy the experience of being in your body in this posture at your current level of capability. You need to come onto your hands and knees. We'll move through some cat-cow and let your intention be to move only as quickly as which you can maintain your presence and awareness in your whole body simultaneously. So take a moment to drop into the heart center, so center of the chest, very deep. Soften that space, take a deep breath. On your next inhale, roll the shoulders back, press the chest forward, and then exhale, round out and tuck your chin. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, send the chest forward, and exhale, round out and tuck the chin. 2 more. Inhale, shoulders back, chest forward. Doesn't matter if we're not moving at the same pace. You'll move with your own breath. And let the inhale, or let the movement last as long as each breath. Good. We'll start to add downward facing dog on the exhale. Alignment doesn't need to be perfect at this stage. You're just waking the spine up. Inhale, exhale, press back. 2 more like that. Inhale, knees drop, shoulders roll back. And then exhale, stretch back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, please step your left foot all the way through to the inside of your left hand. And here you can drop the right knee if you would like to modify, if that makes things a little more accessible for you. And you might also work with a block underneath the right hand. So a couple of modification tips there. Pause for a moment, lift the chest as you really firm the legs, breathe into the heart, and take a deep breath, soften the heart. So you always come back to that soft, full center and then move from that place. So from here, we'll inhale, take the left arm up to the sky. And you can stay here, or you can reach back and take the left hand to the back of the right hip. See if you can twist more deeply, but twist from the center of the torso. So big inhale. Exhale. exhale, twist more deeply. Good. I love closing my eyes in this posture. And then now you're really twisted through the torso, bring the arm up. Take one more breath. And then release, step back. And we'll change legs. So we'll step the right foot all the way through. Again, you can drop the back knee, maybe bring the block and work here, or keep the back leg lifted. Either way, you're firming the legs and lifting the heart, soften your heart. Good, and then nice and light on the left fingertips. Inhale, take the right arm up to the sky. And your intention is, of course, to move from the midline. So you can take this right arm back and grab hold of the back of the left hip. And then as you set your awareness really centered in the middle of the chest, take a few deep breaths and twist more open. Good. And then you might like to take that arm back up, extend down through the left fingertips, up through the right fingertips. One more breath. Good. And then release. Bring the hands down and we'll step back, downward facing dog. Good. From here, please inhale and come forward into the high plank and ensure that your shoulders are directly over the top of your wrists. Firm your legs. Hold for a moment. You might need to modify, but I'd invite you to hold the plank for as long as you can and then drop the knees if you need to. We'll press back, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, take the whole inhale. Maintain full awareness of the whole body as you come forward into the plank. So really activate the heels, maybe drop your knees, and then exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Good. And then we'll inhale, come forward into the high plank. I'm going to modify. If you don't need to modify, you'll go from here. Please make sure you don't drop the hips. So if you're newer to practice, you'll drop the knees and we'll lean forward, bend the elbows back and lower down, come all the way to the floor. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down. Let this movement originate from the center of the chest. Inhale 2 more times. And exhale, down. Inhale, lift up. Good. Maybe lift the arms up behind you. And then exhale, press down through the palms, lift the hips, and press back, downward facing dog. Good. So from downward facing dog, you can either just step the right foot all the way through, or inhale, raise the right leg up, and then step the right foot all the way through to the inside of your right hand. And again, you can drop the back knee if you prefer. We'll inhale, bring the arms up so that they're out in front of us. Lift the armpits up a little bit. Pause for a moment here. Really get your attention centered in the heart. Expand out through all the limbs and lift up. Good. Keep the arms hugging in towards the midline, but they remain parallel. So it's an energetic activation of the muscles of the arms. Take the armpits back, reach up through the fingertips. Remember, you can have the back knee to the floor here to modify. Full breath. Enjoy your full breath that originates from the center of your body. Good. Release. Bring your hands down. Step back. Downward facing dog. And again, either just step the left foot through
or inhale, raise the left leg up.
And then step the left foot all the way through to the inside of your left hand. Drop the back knee to modify or work here. Pause, feel the softness, the fullness in the heart. Let your awareness move out from that point, and then take the arms out. Extend out through your fingertips. Pause here. Lift the armpits up. Really keep extending out through the crown of your head. So these alignment points help us stay really present to the physical body, and then lift up. Lift up through the front of the right thigh, through the crown of the head. Take the armpits back. Extend through your fingertips. Breathe. Good. Enjoy your breath here. And release. Hands come down. Step back. Downward facing dog. Good. Let's come forward. And you might be dropping the knees like we did before. And then you come forward, lower down. See if you can hover, maybe with knees dropped. Come all the way down to the floor. Whew, it is hard work talking right throughout this as I do the postures with you all. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, squeeze the elbows in. If upward facing dog is part of your practice, then you can of course move into upward facing dog here. Exhale, come down. Good. Inhale, shoulders roll back, lift up, squeeze the elbows in, maybe take the arms back, and then press back. Downward facing dog. Good. 5 breaths here. Or you can take a rest by coming down onto the knees, toes together, knees wide, arms out in front, forehead to the floor. All right, yogis, now I'm going to get you to face the long edge of your mat. Step your feet nice and wide. We're coming into Virabhadrasana 2 now. So as you take your legs wide, really start to firm the legs and thinking of hugging the muscles to the bone. So make your legs very strong, draw up through the inner groin. We'll turn the right toes out and bend deep into your right knee. Ensure this right knee doesn't come forward of the ankle. And here you can lift the toes up of both feet and think of dragging the feet towards one another, like you're trying to drag the two edges of the mat together. This is going to make you really present in the legs and the lower part of the body, as well as build strength. Soften the toes, sink a little deeper. Keep that strength in the legs, but without creating tension. So tailbone down, zip up the lower belly. Take your arms out. Soften your heart. And as you really firm the muscles of the arms, hug the arm bones in towards the shoulder joint, then extend out through the fingertips. Turn to look out over your right fingertips and breathe. This is a great posture for really drawing your attention in towards the midline whilst balancing that with extending out. So full presence, whole body, and just be with what is. So as you start to feel the thighs really waking up, maybe sink a little deeper and just breathe through. Good, let's take 3 more breaths. Good. You could keep the arms up, straighten the right leg, turn the right toes in, turn the left toes out. If you need to take a break, you can bring the arms down. And then again, bend deep into the left knee. Ensure the knee doesn't come forward of the ankle. That's how we look after our knees in practice. You can lift the toes up, hug the legs together, sink down a little deeper. Lift up through the lower belly, tailbone down. Side body nice and long. Look out over your left fingertips and breathe. So as we really work with a more stationary posture, your mind is more likely to wander. So just observe what your mind wants to do. Draw it back in to be present within the space of your body. One more breath. Good, and then release. Straighten that leg, bring your arms down and turn the toes back in. Now, some of you may find that you need a block for the next posture. I'm going to give you two different. So we'll turn the right toes out and we'll place the block on the inside of your right ankle if you're working with a block. The arms can come out, bend deep into the right knee, so coming very much into the same shape as Warrior Two. And from there, particularly if you don't have a block, you could bring the right elbow down to rest on the right knee, but ensure that you don't collapse into the neck and the shoulder here. Lift the body up. You're not really kind of collapsing your weight onto the knee. You're just resting it there and using it as a cue to lift up. The other option here is that you could place your right hand on the block, or if it's part of your practice, so it feels okay, you can place the right hand down on the floor. If that means that your butt sticks out behind you, think of wrapping this right sit bone underneath you and moving it forward. And if you can't do that, you've probably come too deep. So come back up onto the block or elbow onto the knee. Okay, so working here, bring your left fingertips to the left ribs and twist open through the left rib. So you're turning your body to face up towards the sky. Good, you'll feel the legs really firmly here. Awareness in the chest. You can, from there, extend the left arm up, palm turns to face over your head, and then stretch out. And like we did in that gate pose, ground down through the outer edge of the left foot and extend out through the left fingertips. Breathe, 3 deep breaths here. Enjoy your breath. Maybe close your eyes to really solidify that presence in the body. Burning thigh and all. Good. And then release. Press down, come up, straighten the right leg, turn the right toes in, bend the knee to grab your block or Tupperware container, and then place your block to the inside if you're using a block. Extend your arms, bend deep into the left knee, so Virabhadrasana 2. And then from here, reach forward and either left elbow to the left knee, watch that neck, or left hand to your block, or left hand to the floor on the inside of your ankle. And you can press the arm into the knee, press the knee back into the arm here to help keep that knee nice and open. We don't want this knee to collapse in, so we're really extending and lengthening out of the inner groin here. Right fingertips come onto the right ribs. Encourage you to twist open a little deeper. Take your right arm up to the sky, external rotation, and stretch over and past the head. Look underneath your armpit and breathe. Enjoy your breath. Good. And then release, press down through the feet to come all the way up. Turn the toes in, bring your hands to your hips, bend the knees, lengthen out of the hips, and on an exhale, come forward and fold. You can bring the hands down to the floor, and if you're really tight through the hamstrings or you have any lower back issues, keep a little bend in the knees and just let the upper body hang down. So the feet are really firmly pressing into the floor, and then you'll hug the legs up in towards the hip. Still keep
A little bend in the knees. Shake out through the head and the neck. You might inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold a little more deeply. I enjoy rocking forward on my feet and then pressing down through the heels. And I find that really grounds my awareness and my attention in the base of my body, in the legs. So it's a really firm foundation. Ensure your head is hanging. Good. Then from here, lift the chest and we'll toe heel the feet in a little bit. Now we want to work with the feet about mat width distance apart. So if you imagine the mat was the other way, and we'll come into a yogic squat here. So, you know, the tighter you are through the legs, you might find that your feet need to be a little wide. I've got fluff falling out of my hair. And tailbone down, lift up through the crown of your head. Elbows onto the insides of the knees here. And we're going to take a few deep breaths. Really let your intention be to open through the chest, lift up through the crown of your head, ground the feet, ground the tailbone. Now, you might not actually be able to work here, and again, you might need a block or something little to sit on. So you could work here. And another option, if this is really too much, is either turn the toes out, and you can have the heels off the ground as you begin, and you'll gradually turn the toes in and keep the heels on the ground. The other option is to come into a high variation, so high squat, or what we call horse, or sometimes goddess pose. Okay, so wherever you are working, either up high or down low, we're going to take about 3 more breaths here. And then release, toe heel your feet in, little bend in the knees, fold forward, let the rib cage rest on your thighs, and again let the head go, the neck go, ground down through the feet, and just breathe. Good. All right. Let's come down onto our mat now. So we're going to lay down on our back for bridge posture. So I'll get you to lay down. Have your feet flat on the floor, your knees bent, and you can just take a moment, have a hand onto the heart. And let the sensation of your breath, the sensation of your heart beating really draw you back into that center. So whenever you notice that you have kind of wandered off, you're not fully present in your body, you're just going through the motions, then you use that as your cue to drop back in. Good. Now from here, you could just have the palms down by your side. And really kind of draw the back of the head onto the floor. Press the back of your head into the floor so you're preserving that natural curve at the back of the neck. And we'll take a big breath. On the exhale, feet and lift up here. So keep lengthening the tailbone towards the knees. You can think of stretching your knees forward, roll the inner thighs down, and then you might bring the hands to interlace underneath your back. Good. You'll squeeze the palms together. Really keep stretching the knuckles away from you so the arms are nice and long. Lift the chest up towards the chin, even though the chin is going to quite subtly lift up towards the roof. So let's take a few steady breaths here. With each exhale, press down through the feet and lift a little bit higher. Good, and then release, come down, soles of your feet together, knees wide, one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, and breathe. Really be aware of the physical space of your body and have the intention to relax. So let's do one more back bend. We'll bring the soles of the feet back up to the floor. And from here, you'll again press down through the feet, lift up the hips, and then maybe interlace the hands underneath. And if you'd like to take this a little bit deeper, maybe you'll roll onto the right upper arm and bring the left upper arm or the left hand underneath your hips, and then roll onto the left upper arm and bring the right hand into the hips and really lift up through the hips. So you want the elbows in towards one another so that they're roughly underneath each hip. You want to avoid having the elbows come out to the side too much. So it won't be available to everybody, and it's perfectly fine just to stay with the first offering or the first option. Good. And wherever you are, you might like to take a little leg lift here. So you can press down through the right foot and then lift the left leg up and extend out. Really bring your energy up into that top foot. Kick foot. And then change legs. Bring that left leg down. Press the left leg into the floor. Full energy runs right throughout the top foot. Extend out. And then bring that down. Come down. Soles of the feet together. Knees wide. One hand on your belly. One hand on your chest. Enjoy your breath. All right, let's make our way up now. So I'll get you to bring your legs out in front of you, and you're just going to take the left foot and put it over the outside of your right thigh. I'll get you to hug the knee in so that you encourage the spine to sit really upright. So lengthen the side waist, lift up through the crown of your head. And this will just educate you, your back muscles and the core muscles to really help you to lengthen and sit tall as opposed to dropping and rounding through the back. So we lift up nice and tall, extend out through the right heel, pause for a moment, center in the midline of the body. Okay, then from there you'll bring the left hand around behind you. I like to lean back to ensure that my belly is got plenty of room to kind of get out from that thigh. And then pause for a moment here. We'll inhale, take the right arm up to the sky, bring the right elbow to the outside of your left knee. And of course you could hug the knee in if that feels a bit more comfortable for you. And we'll take a big breath in here, extend the midline of the body, so lengthways and widthways. And then on the exhale, draw the navel in and twist more deeply to your left. So you're looking over the left shoulder. And you'll do that with each breath. Let's take 3 breaths here. So inhale, lengthen the midline. Exhale, draw the navel in and twist more deeply. 2 more breaths. Maybe close your eyes
Invite that simultaneous awareness of the whole body. Good. And then release. Take the left leg out in front. Hug the right knee in. Place the right foot over the outside of your left thigh. And again, hug in, sit nice and tall. Center your attention in the center of the chest. Okay, we'll bring the right hand around behind us. Just lean back a little bit so there's plenty of room for the belly. Inhale, reach the left arm high, elbow to the outside of your right knee. Big inhale, lengthen the midline, so upwards and outwards, and then exhale, draw the navel in and twist. 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, navel gently draws in so you can twist into the space that the inhale creates. So as you inhale, you create space in the body. And as you exhale, you twist into that space or relax into that space. Good. And then let's release. So our last posture for today is a forward fold. So I'll get you to bring the legs out in front, and we'll just start by bringing the hands down by the side, lifting up and feeling the strength of the mid-body lifting us up and lengthening through the side waist. And we want to keep this action going as we come into our forward fold. So a few ways that we can do that is bend the knees if we're really tight in the hamstrings. Maybe even put a rolled up blanket or towel underneath the knees. Or you could use a strap or a scarf or a belt. And work with the forward fold in this way. You would press the big toe mounds out, little bend in the knees. You keep the front of the chest open rather than rounding through the chest like this. Okay, so use that as an option. If you haven't got anything, or you know that your hamstrings aren't too tight, you can work here comfortably. And my hamstrings are very tight, so I definitely have to be careful of this. You're not alone. We press down through the fingertips, lift up through the chest, keep that strength and the length through the spine, and then exhale, come forward. We'll take 2 more breaths like that. Inhale, lengthen up. Keep that length as you come down. You're hinging from the hips. 1 more breath. Inhale. And then exhale forward. And now you can just do your best to keep the length through the front of the chest and fold forward wherever you land. And we'll take 5 slow, deep breaths here. Enjoy that turning in, that simultaneous awareness of the whole body. Good. And then release. Shoulders roll up and back and down. We might even just bring the hands behind us. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. Good. And then come down for the most important posture, Shavasana. So lay down on your back. Hands either side of the hips, palms face up, fingers gently curl. Have your feet about hip width distance apart, toes fall out to the side. And ensure that you're warm enough. You could place a blanket over you perhaps. And then draw your attention and your loving awareness into the space of your heart. And come back to the idea that the breath and your attention both originate from this point. Expand out with the inhale. And with the exhale, dissolve back into this deep center within you. Let your body be heavy against the earth. If your mind wants to wander, just call it back. Simultaneous awareness of your whole body. And please start to deepen your breath. Wriggle your fingers and your toes. You might like to take a full body stretch and reach your arms overhead. And then roll over to one side. And pause for a moment. Just take a moment to savor this nice, soft, still place within you. And ensure that it moves with you as you come back up to a seated position. Sit nice and tall. Just feel your body. And notice any changes within the inner landscape of your body, within your inner experience. And bring our palms together. Take a long deep breath in. And a long breath out. Namaste, yogis.